In 1902, Simmons Lithography in Brooklyn, New York hired a very unknown engineer by the name of William Carrier. They were having problems printing literature in the very hot, humid summer months. This little engineer was on a train ride in Pittsburgh, and he noticed water going through canvas becoming a fog on the backside. He put his mind to work, and they developed a cooling system for the lithography that now is known as modern American air conditioning. The air conditioning world did not really develop till after the 1950s in America, when they were able to formulate air conditioned units that would stick into windows at a cost that people could afford. And all the way up into 1965, just 50 years ago, only 10% of the houses had central air conditioning. So now there's almost 86% of the houses have central air conditioning. And I'm here to talk to you today about the things that you can do to help yourselves at home. And that we're going to talk about filters, thermostats, and accessories. There are 4 factors that affect air conditioning not working properly every day. Airflow is one of them. The electricity and the controls that fail is another. The level of the refrigerant in your system can be either too much or too little is another. And the 4th in that category would be, Johnny, don't roll your eyes at me now, will be the drain problems that exist with air conditioning. So any one of those 4 can take your air conditioning system down at any particular time. The number one thing that individuals can do is develop a system of preventive maintenance for people like us to come out and service that equipment. Coils need to be cleaned, whether they're indoor coils or outdoor coils. What they're doing is they're picking up heat, and we're moving that heat to a different location and releasing it. Our system is developed on developing 2 sides of a system. There's a low pressure system, there's a high pressure system. The low pressure system is the cooling side. The high pressure system is the one that's giving up the heat. With filters, they come in many different types. Most of us have seen this one right here. What I want you to do with this one is throw it out. Why even bother? The other filters that could be right is installed wrong. Filters are designed with the metal side to go to the equipment. As the air flows through, it will keep the filter intact. This one was installed backwards, so the filter's going away. We basically have pleated filters that come in 1-inch, 2-inch, and up to 5-inch versions for those that have the systems that are installed that will catch more particulate over a longer period of time. My favorite, though, is the sponge filter with the charcoal backing. This filter here is good for 90 days. It can be ordered from this company with a frame, and it will do a better job of picking up the particulates that are in the system. Any kind of HVAC system, it goes in the return portion of the equipment, and what we do is we take the charcoal and the sponge and toss it every 90 days, and it gets tucked in the aluminum frame. It's the best system available. The other thing I would like to talk to you about today is thermostats. Thermostats is in the control division of your system. I know all of you have probably seen the old round version. Here we go. We'll pass that one around. And we also have the rectangular version. And these have a mercury bulb inside that basically, as the temperature rises, it moves over, energizes the equipment, and as it cools back down, it goes back. This particular thermostat was great before the digital world ever came about, but now these thermostats are generally about 20 years old. They pick up dust and they're out of calibration, so they don't work anymore. This will show you what that's like right here. It's connected by wires, and the mercury rolls left or right as the temperature rises through the bimetal. My favorites are these right here. This is a digital version, and I'll tell you the best benefit that you get from this is that outside in your unit, some people call it a compressor, but actually it's a condenser. The compressor's inside there. The digital versions are the only thermostats that will give you compressor protection. When you have a power surge, and boy, we've had a bunch of them this summer. I've seen more power problems than anything. This has a setback, and it will not allow the equipment to come back on for 3 to 5 minutes. So that will protect your compressor from coming on and off real fast, which is very dangerous and can be very destructive to that. This thermostat right here is a non-programmable thermostat with a backlight. My favorite one would possibly be the one that is programmable. We can set the menu up for 4 time periods, 5 days a week, and there are 4 time periods for the Saturday and the Sunday. This thermostat here will pay for itself, promises, in 3 months by the amount of savings. They can be hardwired into the system from the furnace, or they can be operated off batteries. And I do recommend, when you're using batteries, please use the alkaline batteries only. There's also thermostats now that communicate with your phone. We have these available. Problems that exist that I get calls on are basically when units are dirty outside, there are capacitors. The capacitors fail when they're swollen up like that. That's a good capacitor that I'm passing around now. It don't allow the equipment to come on at all because the condenser was dirty or the charge was low on it. We're basically working with 2 types of refrigerants nowadays. R22 is the expensive way to keep cool. It will be gone in 3 years. And this is 410A, which has been around for about 15 years. This is the cheapest way to cool your home. In the world of accessories, I do recommend that there are certain systems are basically stood up or they're laid down in really tight areas of the house. In the really tight areas, I do recommend putting an electrical pump to remove the condensate. It does a better job. The reason why those systems have so many drain problems is because the drain lines are so level. And they exist in very hot spaces, and the mildew grows, and it will block the flow of the condensate getting out. We are also required nowadays on certain systems to put in a drain float system that will cut off the flow of the water if the line becomes stopped up. My favorite accessory that's out there today is this one right here. This goes inside the equipment. It will remove any type of odor that exists in a house, including bacon that is cooked, any kind of pet dander, any kind of odor at all. It works off a system of where the particulates are brought in, and there's UV action that will eliminate the negative particles that are in the air. It will work on 5 different allergens that are out there, E. coli and everything. And I've got brochures to hand you on that. Do I have any questions today? I wanted to try to keep this as basic as possible because I could talk for hours because I am a refrigeration expert. Some of you have had the opportunity to have me at your facility, and the work I do is going to be phenomenal. We have a lot of people that have had other people out there before, but I take this very seriously, and I'm never going to leave you with a problem. Thank you very much.